Mheshimiwa Musa Azan Zungu, Spika wa Bunge la Jumuiya ya Muungano wa Tanzania, Mheshimiwa Waziri Mkuu, waheshimiwa wa bunge hili la Jumuiya ya Muungano wa Tanzania, waheshimiwa viongozi, mabibi na mabwana, hamjambo. Asalamu alaykum. Wacha nianze hotuba yangu kwa kuwapatia historia ya Kiswahili. Nilipata kujua ama kuelezwa kwamba Kiswahili kilizaliwa kule Zanzibar. Ikakuwa na kubalehe huku Tanzania bara. Kufika Kenya ikapata matatizo ya maradhi. Kufika Uganda kwa sababu ya maradhi yalimzidi akafa. Na mazishi yalifanyika kule Kongo. Sababu hiyo na waomba radhi nitoe hotuba yangu kwa Kiingereza. Asanteni. Najua nisije nikaharibu heshima ya lugha yetu ya Kiswahili. Let me begin by expressing my deepest gratitude to Her Excellency, my dear sister, Samia Suluhu Hassan, for her gracious invitation to undertake this historic state visit to your great and sisterly nation, the United Republic of Tanzania. From the moment of our arrival, we have been received with exceptional warmth and hospitality. I am equally honored to thank the Right Honorable Speaker, Musa Azan Zungu, and the distinguished members of this august House for the rare privilege of addressing this Parliament. I recall with great fondness Her Excellency's visit to Kenya in 2021, and I am honored today to reciprocate following her re-election as among the first heads of state to visit under her new term. Today, I stand here in reciprocity, not because we as Kenyans are your neighbors, not just your friends, nor even your partners. We are your brothers and sisters. I bring with me the warm greetings of the people and the government of the Republic of Kenya, as well as the goodwill of your fellow parliamentarians in our National Assembly and Senate. And in my company is both the Leader of Majority in Parliament, in the National Assembly, the Leader of Majority in the Senate, and the Minority Leader also in Senate, accompanying me. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the conversation we are having today is significant and consequential, not only for our two countries, but for our region and our continent. At its core, it is about one central task: growing mutual trust to build shared strength. For far too long, relations among neighboring countries have been shaped by competition, suspicion, and rivalry, forces that have fragmented our markets, weakened our voice, and constrained our collective progress. And if we are to be honest with ourselves, ndugu majirani, some of these forces are still very alive with us. They still shape our narratives. They still influence our relations. Yet, our founding fathers, Mzee Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere and Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, saw beyond this prism. They understood that Africa's future would not be secured in isolation, but in unity, and they planted the seed of regional integration because our destinies are intertwined, and our strength lies in moving forward together. For decades, Tanzania and Kenya have walked side by side, a partnership forged in struggle and anchored in shared purpose. At its foundation, two towering figures of our African history, Julius Nyerere and Jomo Kenyatta. Their partnership, built on different but complementary visions, inspired a model of unity that transcended borders. Even during the struggle for independence, including the Mau Mau period, Tanzania stood with Kenya, affirming a shared belief in freedom, dignity, and self-determination. That spirit gave birth to East African Community in 1967. Though disrupted in 1997, it was rebuilt through dialogue and statesmanship, leading to its re-establishment in 1999. Today, that community stands renewed and expanded, but its foundation remains the same: a growing partnership between our nations, defined not by the absence of challenges, but by our ability to overcome them and move forward together in pursuit of shared growth and shared strength. Waheshimiwa wabunge, kuna msemo unaosema unaweza kuchagua rafiki, jirani unapatiwa na Mungu. It is this enduring foundation of shared history, shared sacrifice, and shared purpose that finds expression in the ties that bind Tanzania and Kenya today. Waheshimiwa, we share a border that stretches nearly 800 kilometers from the Indian Ocean at Lungalunga and Horohoro, along Kilimanjaro, across the Masai Mara and Serengeti to Lake Victoria. That boundary is not merely a line on the map. It binds our destinies as a vibrant corridor of trade, culture, and human connection, where goods, ideas, and people flow, reminding us that our progress and our setbacks are intertwined. We share a language, Kiswahili, spoken by over 100 million people across East Africa, making it one of the most widely spoken African languages and a powerful unifying force across our borders. We share communities such as the Maasai and the Kuria, whose lives straddle our boundaries, families that intermarry, traders who cross daily, and entrepreneurs whose success depends on seamless movement of goods and services. And in my delegation, I have two governors from Narok and from Kajiado who have family across the border in Tanzania. But perhaps the most powerful illustration of our unity is found in nature itself. Each year, during the Great Wildebeest Migration, millions of animals move freely between the Serengeti and Masai Mara, guided not by borders, but by survival. They do not stop at borders. They simply cross and return. What nature has made seamless, policy must not make it difficult. Honorable members, it is not lost on me that we are engaged in this important conversation nearly 4 decades after the collapse of the East African community in 1997. We must reflect honestly on lessons we cannot afford to repeat. The collapse of the community in 1997 was not, at its core, a clash of ideologies. Whether capitalism in Kenya or Ujamaa in Tanzania, each system sought to advance the welfare of the people. But governance, national or regional, is ultimately judged by its ability to deliver opportunity, equity, and prosperity. Where it does not, mistrust and division emerge. Our failure was not in building a shared economic vision that worked for all, and in retreating into narrow national interests instead of treating our shared resources, infrastructure, and markets as joint strategic assets for collective benefit by all our people. That was not their failure alone. It becomes our failure today if we repeat it. And so we must ask ourselves honestly, are we moving forward together, or are we risking becoming victims of the same limiting forces? Are we already repeating mistakes of the past? Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the time has come for our generation to move beyond incremental progress towards decisive integration. Because our biggest barrier is not infrastructure or policy.
It is the quiet mistrust that pervades our relations. That suspicion
has cost us time, opportunity, and prosperity, and we can no longer afford it.